Okay, so are you kind of overwhelmed with all this AI stuff you hear about everywhere?
Yeah, it's like everyone's talking about it, but no one's saying what to actually do with it.
Right. So that's what we're doing today, figuring out how to make AI work for you.
Uh-huh. Cool.
And this piece is actually from the Odyssey podcast.
Okay.
It's sponsored by Pantheon Inc. But, and this is what I liked, they don't just push their platform.
Right.
They give you practical steps you can take with AI no matter what your business is.
Yeah, that's key because the tech is just one piece of the puzzle.
Totally. And they have some real-world examples that'll get you thinking.
Like what kinds of examples?
Well, we'll get into those. But first, I think it's important to just step back for a sec.
Good.
Because it's easy to get caught up in the hype and think AI will solve everything like that.
Yeah. AI is not magic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The source material emphasizes that.
It does.
Yeah, it says AI isn't a cure-all. It's a tool in your toolkit.
Makes sense.
So before we even get into the how-to, think about your own work. What are your pain points? Could AI be part of the solution?
That's a good question to ask yourself right off the bat.
Right. So one is automating those customer support tickets we all get a ton of.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day.
So AI can handle those, starting internally for your team, then scaling it up to customers.
That would free up so much time.
Right. And it could probably make your customers happier, too, with faster responses.
Definitely. And you know what I like about that example?
Yeah.
It shows you don't have to go all in with AI right away.
You can start small.
Yeah. Pilot internally, get it working smoothly, and then expand.
It's like dipping your toes in the water before jumping in the deep end.
Love that analogy.
Another timely example they give is fraud detection.
Oh, that's huge these days with everything being online.
Exactly. And AI is perfect for that because it can analyze tons of data so fast.
Way faster than humans.
Right. So it can spot those weird patterns that might mean fraud.
And ideally stop it before it even happens.
It's like having a superpowered detective watching over your transactions.
Pretty cool.
They also talk about AI in sourcing and procurement, which might not sound exciting.
Okay, true.
But think about all the time companies spend on that stuff.
Yeah, finding suppliers, comparing prices, all that.
And AI can streamline it all, like analyzing trends, predicting demand, and even finding new suppliers.
So you're basically working smarter, not harder.
Totally. Okay, but before you get too carried away and start buying all the AI software, see, you got to lay the groundwork first.
Oh, okay. Like, what do they mean?
It's like building a house. You
Okay.
need a strong foundation before you add the fancy stuff.
So what's the foundation for AI?
They talk about three things:
Okay.
data readiness, cross-functional teams, and education.
Data readiness. So just having data isn't enough.
It has to be the right kind of data. Clean, consistent, and organized so the AI can use it.
So it's like if you're training an AI to spot fraud, but your data is full of errors, it's not going to work well.
It's like baking a cake with bad ingredients.
You'll get something, but it won't be good.
Exactly. And that's where the AIDA system they mentioned comes in.
What's that?
It's designed to help businesses get their data in shape for AI.
Ah, so it's like a personal trainer for your data?
I like that. Now, cross-functional teams. Why do you think those are important for AI projects?
Well, I guess you don't want just your tech people working on it.
Right. You need your business experts, your legal and ethical folks, maybe even your frontline staff.
So it's about bringing different perspectives to the table.
Exactly. Because AI can touch so many parts of a business.
Makes sense. And what about education?
So that's about making sure everyone involved with AI understands the basics.
Like what it can do, what it can't do?
Right. That way you don't get unrealistic expectations.
And people can start to see where AI could actually have them.
It's about demystifying AI and getting everyone on the same page.
So we've laid the groundwork. What's next?
Now we get to the exciting part, actually putting these principles into action.
Can't wait.
We'll dive into that in the next part of our deep dive.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about getting ready for AI now. How do we actually use it?
Right, everyone wants to know how to put this stuff into practice.
Exactly. Remember, we talked about automating customer support. So let's say your company is getting swamped with support tickets.
Happens all the time.
Your team's stress response times are slow. Customers are unhappy.
Yeah, it's a mess.
So AI could be like your virtual assistant, you know.
Okay, I'm following.
It can handle those basic questions and simple problems.
And that frees up your human agents for the tougher stuff.
Exactly. So how would you actually set that up?
Well, the source suggests starting with your internal team first.
Interesting. So not even using it for customers yet.
Right. Think of all those IT or HR requests people have. AI could handle those.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so you improve things internally and you get data to improve the AI.
Before you let it loose on your customer.
Exactly. It's like a test run.
I like that. It's less scary than just going all in with AI.
Much less. And then once it's working well, you can expand it.
So it's a process, not just flipping a switch.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for another example?
Hit me.
Fraud detection.
Oh, yeah. We touched on that before.
It's so important now with all the online transactions, and the bad guys are always coming up with new tricks.
So how does AI help with that?
Well, it can analyze huge amounts of data instantly.
Way faster than humans could ever do it.
Right, and it can spot those tiny patterns that might signal fraud.
So it's not just about catching fraud after it happens.
It's about stopping it before it even starts.
That's amazing. It's like having a bodyguard for your money.
I know, right? And it can do even more than that.
No.
Yeah, it can analyze whole networks of transactions, not just individual ones.
So it can spot those bigger patterns that might point to organized fraud.
Exactly. It's like predicting where the criminals will strike next.
That's wild. Okay, now, I know we said sourcing and procurement wasn't very exciting,
True. I'm listening.
because think about it, all those tasks are so manual and time-consuming.
Yeah, finding suppliers, comparing prices, negotiating contracts.
And AI can streamline all of that.
Really?
Yeah, it can automate things like supplier discovery and price comparison.
Wow. So it's not about replacing human jobs.
It's about giving them better tools.
Right, taking away the boring stuff so they can focus on the strategy.
AI can actually make sourcing and procurement smarter.
How so?
By analyzing all that data, it can spot trends, predict demand changes.
And even find new suppliers you might not have known about.
It's like having a crystal ball for your supply chain.
That would be pretty awesome.
So we've seen some pretty cool examples of AI in action.
Definitely.
But now I want to bring it back to our listeners.
Okay, make it real for them.
Exactly. Because it's one thing to hear about these big ideas.
But how do you actually use this stuff in your own work?
Right. So what are some practical steps people can take?
Well, first you got to figure out where AI could actually help you.
Don't just jump on the bandwagon because it's trendy.
Right. Think about your own work. What are your biggest frustrations?
What takes up too much time? What's always gone wrong?
Those are the areas where AI might be a good fit.
But it's about asking yourself, could AI solve this problem for me?
Exactly. And don't be afraid to start small, remember?
Like those internal pilots we talked about.
Exactly. Pick one problem and find an AI solution to test out. There are lots of tools out there, even free ones.
So you can experiment without spending a ton of money.
And as you get more comfortable, you can do more with AI.
It's all about learning as you go.
And don't forget to talk to other people.
Oh yeah, collaboration is key.
Network with people in your industry, go to conferences. See how others are using AI successfully.
The more you learn, the better you'll be at using AI yourself. It's mind-blowing what AI can do, and it's only getting more powerful.
Which brings up another important point.
Yeah, it's powerful, but like with any powerful tool.
You gotta be careful.
Exactly. So what are some of the things we need to watch out for with AI?
Well, one big one is bias.
Bias.
Yeah, like AI algorithms can actually inherit our own human biases.
How does that happen?
It's all about the data they're trained on.
Oh, so if the data is biased,
Then the AI will be biased too.
and that could lead to unfair decisions.
Exactly. Like imagine an AI system for hiring.
Okay.
If it's trained on data that shows mostly men in leadership roles.
It might unfairly favor male candidates.
Exactly. That's why data diversity is so important.
So we need to make sure the data we feed AI is balanced and representative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the data itself.
There's more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the people building these AI systems matter too,
So we need diverse teams of developers
with different backgrounds and perspectives.
to catch those potential biases.
Exactly. And to make sure the AI is designed to be fair.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about the people behind it.
Absolutely. And there's one more thing.
Okay, what's that?
Transparency.
What do you mean?
People need to understand how AI is being used.
Especially when it's making decisions that affect them.
Exactly. Like if an AI is denying you a loan,
You should know why.
and you should be able to challenge that decision if it's unfair.
So it's about accountability too.
Exactly. We need to make sure AI is used responsibly.
And ethically.
These are big questions, but we gotta be asking them now.
As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives.
It's the only way to make sure AI is a force for good.
Well said.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great takeaway from our deep dive.
Yeah, AI is powerful, but we have to use it wisely.
It's up to all of us to guide its development.
And make sure it benefits everyone.
Could agree more. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
From the basics of AI to the ethical challenges.
And most importantly, how you can start using AI in your own work.
Hopefully, our listeners feel inspired and empowered,
to explore this amazing technology.
and to think critically about its impact on the world.
So keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep asking questions.
The world of AI is vast and constantly changing.
There's always something new to discover.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next big AI breakthrough.
That's what I love about this field. The possibilities are endless.
So until next time, keep diving deep into the world of AI.
And remember, the future is in our hands.